So yeah.
And the important thing is that the reason it has to be open source in nature is really the productivity, the creativity of people that start adopting it early and figuring out what's missing, what could be done better, where are there obvious user interface things that could be optimized and done in a nicer way. So that's really the main thing. It's not just about the financial stuff. It's more about the speed of development.
Mm-hmm. All right. Want to cut it there?
Yes, let's go straight to the versus player.
Tell us about the versus player.
Well, the versus player is basically the whole concept of giving users a framework, either based on Flash or based on HTML5, where you have production-like features where you can control sources. So you can have overlay captions, overlay videos, where you can have multiple videos in the same framework, where you can time code things, where you can start one Flash file playing in one area of the framework, and maybe a YouTube video in another, and a local MP4 video in another. So it's very much about some of the things that's already possible in classical HTML framework, just giving a control mechanism in front, giving it a user interface, so you can say, well, start this file at that time code, send this action to it, stop this, start this, play this, overlay this, and give it in a way that
this is of course already possible in existing, video editing. What we're talking about is to make it dual stream or multi-stream.
It's about showing data in two streams. It's about controlling different types of data sources, so you can have an MP3 maybe playing in one part of the source and a video in another, and that you can control the actions directly, and you can sync them.
You can control them easily as producer of the media, and then you can control them again as end user.
Yes, and the important thing is that it should be run on some sort of script basis. So the actual script is easily importable and exportable. So let's say it worked in an XML file setup, then the codes for what actions to get the framework to do would be in the XML, and you could import and export it. So no matter where you are, you could still play a versus player framework as long as the links to the resource files was working. So it would basically be like importing and exporting a WordPress or similar. And it would just be to get the framework, so you had an editor and you had a client framework. So that's basically what the versus player is all about. We've been trying to do some dummy tests and creating some things with tools like iSpring, and with existing YouTube timecode in functions. And then of course a little bit with some JavaScript functionality about opening in new windows. But of course this should all be done in one window that would then have all the different functions and streams. So clicking on one thing, it would open in the same existing window where you've got everything else running. But it would just compose it and put it in a nice layout, and with some features like hide one window and show another, and of course full screen and features like that. So it would basically be a reinvention of some Flash features. But I know that this is very much a programmer thing, and whether it's easy in one or another program, that's really not up to me to say.
Me neither.